She laughed the day the warning came. It happened at the edge of the market where dust clung to feet and voices mixed with hunger. A bent stranger sat on a low stone, skin like dry bark, eyes too awake. In her hands was a small folded cloth, plain, dark, light as breath. She called the young woman closer, not with words, with a look that felt old. People passed. No one stopped. The figure held out the fabric, said it was for her body, said it was not beauty, said it was not luck, said it was protection. The cloth felt warm when it touched her palm, too warm. She pulled back, smiling. The stranger did not smile. She spoke once, clear, slow, heavy. "Never remove the cloth." The words fell like a stone in water. The girl laughed, loud, sharp. She asked if a piece of fabric could command a body. She asked if fear was sewn into it. She said her body was her own. The woman did not argue. She folded the item again and pressed it into her hands. The touch burned and soothed at the same time. The warning came again, not louder, not softer. "Never remove the cloth." A breeze passed through the market. Baskets rattled. A child cried. The young woman tied the cloth around her waist to mock the moment. She bowed like an actress. She laughed again. People laughed with her. The old face did not change. "Never remove the cloth." She rolled her eyes. She said rules were for the weak. She said nothing owned her body. She turned away, still smiling, still laughing, already forgetting. When she looked back, the stone was empty. No shadow, no footprints, no cloth left behind except the one now resting against her skin. The laughter faded. The stranger was gone. After that day, her life stayed small. She was not chosen at gatherings, not called forward. When drums sounded, others were pulled into circles. She stood at the edge. When laughter rose, it moved past her like wind. Men looked once, then away. Mothers whispered to daughters and shifted their baskets. She wanted one thing, simple, to be loved and to stay. Not coins, not praise, just a hand that would not let go. She worked harder than most, rose early, returned late. She kept her body clean, her voice soft, her eyes hopeful. Still no one stayed. Some smiled, some spoke kind words. None chose her. The cloth stayed against her skin. She forgot it most days. Sometimes she remembered the warning when she bathed or changed. The words would pass through her mind like a shadow. Never remove the cloth. She would shrug and continue. Nothing happened, no thunder, no sign. Life stayed the same. At weddings, she carried water. At births, she waited outside. When couples fought, they never came to her door. When joy spread, it stopped short of her feet. People began to call her unlucky, not cursed, just passed over. A woman who would always be nearby but never held. She watched others build homes. She watched bellies grow. She watched men return from the road with gifts and stories. She smiled for them. She went back alone. At night, she lay awake and pressed her palm to her waist. The fabric was always warm, steady. She wondered why it was there. She wondered why she had laughed. She spoke to no one about it. When a man looked at her for more than a breath, hope rose fast. When he turned away, it fell harder than before. Each time hurt deeper. Each time she told herself it would change. The warning did not return. Only the memory of it. Quiet. Waiting. She did not know that rejection was not the absence of a door. It was the beginning of one opening the wrong way. The change began quietly. It started with small encounters. A man shared a meal with her and found work the next day. Another sat beside her at dusk and sold all his goods by morning. Someone rested his head near her lap and woke with new ideas, sharp and clear. Word did not spread at first. The pattern hid itself. Anyone who spent time close to her seemed to rise. not slowly, quickly. Fortune moved toward them as if called, their hands filled. Their names were spoken, doors opened. She watched it happen again and again. She gained nothing. Her hut stayed bare. Her clothes stayed worn. Her bowls stayed light. When she walked away, the luck stayed behind with them. When she slept alone, nothing followed her into the night. She told herself it was chance. She told herself it was time, but the pattern tightened. She noticed men returning only when they needed something. Advice, comfort, rest. They left lighter in spirit and heavier in pocket. They did not look back. The cloth warmed more during these moments. Not hot, not painful, just present, like a quiet witness. Sometimes the warning pressed into her mind without sound. Never remove the cloth. She pushed the thought aside. If it held power, why did it not help her? If it mattered, why was she still alone? She began to understand the truth before she accepted it. Something around her body gave. It did not take. It passed through her and stayed with others. When she realized this, fear came after. Not fear of loss, fear of being used. Yet she said nothing. Hunger makes silence easy. Loneliness makes it easier. Men came more often. They stayed shorter. They left stronger. The village started to notice. Eyes lingered. Whispers followed her path. Some said she carried blessing. Some said she carried trouble. None asked her name. She still wanted love, not the visits, not the gains that fell into other hands. Love that stayed when the cloth was forgotten. She did not know that the secret was already known by the wrong people. He arrived fast. He spoke before sitting, promised before listening. He said he had searched for her without knowing it. He said her presence calmed him. He said he wanted a home. She believed him because she wanted to. They were seen together by sunset. By morning, his voice was everywhere. Plans, deals, confidence. The man who had struggled now walked tall. Coins rang in his pouch. People nodded at him. She stayed the same. He dressed better. He ate more. He laughed louder. He touched her less. She waited for the promise to slow down into something real. It did not. The cloth pressed warm against her skin when he lay near. She remembered the words without wanting to. Never remove the cloth. She wondered if it mattered. She wondered if this was finally love. The betrayal came at the market. Public. Clean. He told others she was a stop on his road. A woman who brought luck, but not a future. He laughed as he said it. Others laughed too. She stood there, still. The sound moved through her like water through sand. He left that same day, with gifts, with praise, with nothing tied to her. People looked at her differently after. Not with pity, with interest. The pattern was now visible. She did not cry. Tears would have felt like agreement. That night she washed slowly. The fabric stayed close. She held it and felt its warmth. For the first time she felt anger toward the warning. If this was protection, why did it protect everyone but her? She slept with her back to the door. The first man did not return. His name was spoken with respect. Hers was not. The next one did not pretend to be gentle. He came with confidence, shaped by rumors. He said he knew her gift. He said he was not afraid. He said honesty was better than lies. He promised care, not love. Shelter, not marriage. She agreed because she was tired. The village watched this time. Within days, his life lifted. Debts cleared. Enemies softened. His fields grew heavy. He began to speak as if he had always been important. People greeted him first. They forgot how he arrived. She remained where she was. He started avoiding her eyes. His visits shortened. His touch turned careless. When she spoke of staying together, he laughed and said she misunderstood. The cloth warmed sharply when he lay beside her. The warning rose again, unwanted but clear. Never remove the cloth. Anger followed it. She wanted to tear the words out of her head. She wanted proof that the warning mattered. The betrayal came harsher than before. At a feast with elders present, he stood and thanked her openly. Not for love, for use. He said some women were bridges, not destinations. He said she should be proud. Laughter spread fast. Someone clapped. Her face burned. Not from shame alone, but from being seen and discarded in the same breath. He left that night. His prosperity stayed. His name rose higher. People stopped whispering. They stared. She walked home alone, slow. Each step felt heavier than the last. In her hut, she sat in silence and pressed the cloth hard against her waist until the warmth steadied her breathing. For the first time, she wondered what would happen if the rule was broken. Not out of curiosity, out of rage. The warning stayed quiet, waiting. By the third time, no one was surprised. He did not come secretly. He arrived in daylight. He spoke to her where others could hear. He did not promise love. He promised success. He said staying close to her was enough. The village watched every step. Luck moved fast again. His name rose. His house filled. People gathered around him like flies to sweetness. They spoke of destiny. They spoke of wisdom. No one spoke of her. She walked behind him in public, not invited, not dismissed, just present. Whispers followed her feet. Some said she was dangerous. Some said she was foolish. Some said she deserved it for not leaving. Her hope thinned. The cloth felt heavier now, not in weight, in meaning. She felt it even when she forgot it was there. The warning lived inside her memory, sharp and ready. Never remove the cloth. He betrayed her without apology. One morning she woke alone. His mat was gone. His door was closed. By noon she heard he was engaged elsewhere. By evening gifts were moving into his new home. People did not hide their stares. Children pointed. Women pulled their shawls tighter. Men smiled with knowledge. She stayed indoors for days. Hunger brought her out again. The third man's rise was praised. Her name was attached to it like dirt on a shoe. She understood then. This would not end on its own. It would repeat until nothing was left of her but function. The warning felt closer than ever. Not loud, not kind, just firm. She did not laugh anymore. After that, they did not pretend. Men came openly now, not to court, not to promise. They came to sit, to touch, to leave stronger. They spoke plainly. They said they knew what she offered. They said it would not take long. She did not argue. Exhaustion makes refusal heavy. Shame makes it heavier. She accepted because saying no longer felt powerful. It only felt lonely. Each visit followed the same path. They arrived uncertain. They left confident. Their lives shifted outward. Hers folded inward. The village did not hide it anymore. People counted how many passed through her door. They joked about timing. They warned sons to be respectful, but curious. They warned daughters to stay away. Her name became a shortcut, not a story. She stopped looking into faces. She stopped hoping someone would stay after gaining. When she felt kindness, she mistrusted it. When she felt nothing, she felt relief. The cloth stayed warm, always warm. A steady reminder she could not escape. Sometimes when a man slept beside her, the warning would rise like a breath she did not take. Never remove the cloth. She hated the words now, not because they frightened her, because they watched her fall without stopping it. Humiliation became routine. Men left smiling. Women shook their heads. Children learned early what she was for. One afternoon, she heard laughter outside her hut. A group of men spoke of whose turn it was next. They did not lower their voices. Something inside her finally emptied. She sat alone that night and pressed the fabric hard against her body. Not for comfort, for blame. If this thing had power, it had taken everything except her pain. She did not cry. When nothing is left to lose, even fear grows tired. The change came without warning. She woke before dawn, feeling the cloth burn. Not warm, burning. She reached for water. The moment her fingers touched the fabric, the heat vanished. Her body felt different, lighter, straighter. When she stood, her reflection in the bowl froze her breath. Her skin shone. Her posture held power. Her eyes carried weight. People noticed immediately. Women stopped talking mid-sentence when she passed. Men turned too quickly. Children stared without fear. Her walk changed the air around her. The village shifted. Doors opened. Invitations came. She was offered a seat, a voice, a place. The same people who mocked her now watched her carefully. The cloth rested calm against her skin, silent, obedient. The warning did not speak, but it hovered close. Never remove the cloth. She did not laugh this time. Attention followed her everywhere. Not the hungry kind, the careful kind. People listened when she spoke. They agreed. They smiled with respect. Men returned, but slower, cautious. Some brought gifts. Some brought fear disguised as praise. None touched without permission. She had power now. Not borrowed, not leaking. It stayed with her. The village called her blessed. Some called her dangerous. Both bowed. For the first time, she felt whole while standing alone. The cloth did not glow. It did not move. It simply stayed, a boundary that held. She remembered every insult, every laugh, every use. The memory did not break her. It sharpened her. The transformation was complete, and everyone saw it. They did not know the cost was already counting. Power invites temptation. The attention grew heavy. Praise turned into pressure. People wanted proof. Men wanted closeness. Women wanted secrets. Elders wanted assurance that her rise would benefit them too. One evening during a crowded gathering, a voice cut through the noise. Someone shouted that her power was hidden, that nothing true should be covered. Laughter followed. Others joined in. A chant formed, playful but sharp. They asked her to show her body, to prove there was nothing strange, nothing false. Her heart struck hard. The cloth burned again. Not like before. This time, like warning fire. The words came back, clear and cold. Never remove the cloth. Her hands shook, not from fear of them, from fear of losing what she had become. Power is loud when it thinks it can stay forever. She smiled to calm the crowd. She lifted her hands slowly, just enough to silence them. She did not remove it, but she loosened it. Just a breath, just a show. The moment the knot slipped, the air changed. The light dimmed. Her strength drained as if pulled from her bones. Gasps filled the space. People stepped back. Someone screamed her name. She dropped to her knees. The beauty faded fast. The posture collapsed. The respect vanished with it. Fear replaced admiration. Not fear of her, fear of being near her. She grabbed the cloth and tied it back in place. Too late. Prosperity around her twisted into panic. People who had gained from her began to fall. Deals failed, goods spoiled, illness spread, eyes turned hard. They blamed her instantly. Stones did not fly, but words did. Accusations, insults, threats. The same mouths that praised her now called her a danger. She ran home under the weight of it all. Inside her hut, she held the fabric and trembled. The warning did not repeat. Its silence was worse. The price had been shown, publicly, completely. He came when nothing was left to admire, not during her rise, not during the fear. He came after the noise settled, after doors closed again, after eyes returned to looking past her. She recognized him immediately. He was the one who had sat with her before the cloth mattered, before gain followed touch. He had liked her voice, her laughter, her silence. He had left once to seek work and returned to find her, already changed by others. He gained nothing by being near her. His life stayed the same. No sudden fortune, no lifted name. He did not rise. He did not fall. He simply stayed. He fixed her door without asking. He brought food and did not count it. He listened without searching for advantage. The cloth rested cool against her skin, quiet, watching. She waited for the familiar shift. It did not come. He did not ask about her power. He did not ask about the past men. He did not speak of the gathering. He did not touch her body like it owed him anything. She felt something return she thought was gone. At night, they sat apart and spoke of simple things, of weather, of work, of rest. The silence between them did not accuse her. For the first time, she felt chosen without being useful. The warning drifted through her memory, not as threat, but as weight. Never remove the cloth. She understood then. The rule was not about control. It was about cost. He loved her without reward. That frightened her more than power ever had. The choice did not come with noise. It came quietly, in the way he looked at her without measuring, in the way he stayed even when nothing changed for him, in the way her body felt calm instead of useful. Power still waited around her. Fear, too. People watched from a distance, unsure which version of her would remain. She felt the cloth against her skin every moment now. Not burning, not warm, heavy with meaning. It had given her protection. It had taken her peace. It had turned her into a passage others crossed. One evening she sat alone and held it in both hands. Her fingers shook, not from fear of loss, from knowing this was final. The warning surfaced one last time, steady and unbending. Never remove the cloth. She closed her eyes. She saw every man who had risen and left, every laugh that cut. Every night she had agreed because saying no felt pointless. She saw the power that came too late, and the crowd that loved it only while it served them. Then she saw him, fixing her door, sitting in silence, loving her without gain. She stood. Slowly, deliberately, she untied the cloth. No audience, no chant, no challenge, just choice. The air did not scream. The world did not crack. The power left her like breath on cold ground, quiet, gone. Her body felt lighter, ordinary, human. When he returned and saw her, nothing changed in his eyes. No disappointment, no fear. He smiled the same. She knew then she had chosen correctly. The rule had been broken, not in defiance, in truth. And for the first time, she did not feel punished. She felt free. They left the village soon after, not in shame, not in triumph. They went where no one knew her story, where no one waited for gain. They built a small life with slow days and honest work. She was no longer watched. Her body carried no power. No fear followed her steps. She cooked. She rested. She laughed softly again. Love came without conditions and stayed without reward. The cloth was gone, lost to the earth, never found. People in the old village still speak of her. Some say she fell. Some say she was punished. Others say she wasted a gift. None of them know the truth. The truth is simple. A body can be a bridge or a home. A bridge is crossed. A home is stayed in. She chose to be a home. They say the story as a warning now. Not about magic, not about cloth, about laughter that ignores wisdom, about power that feeds others and starves the self, and about a rule that never changed, even when it was broken. Those who tell the legend end it the same way. Some rules protect you from the world. Some rules protect you from yourself.